Okay, so I just had it in my head to come out here first to do a little digging, because this is the northernmost point out here. So quiet. Peaceful, beautiful. Imagine what this was like 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. The Wali Indians here possibly camped out along this ridge overlooking the marshland. We're going to test it out. So this is the area, the mollusk, pilings of mollusk, indicating some type of living here at some point. And here's the old fireplace further down. You know, it's about 56 degrees out here. Snakes aren't out till the afternoon, but you still have to keep watch. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Mud and mollusk shells. Imagine this was used to heat a home, to cook in. We often say, if only this object could talk. Well, if this object could talk, I bet it would have some stories to share with us, wouldn't it? First test dig, nothing. A lot of sand. It's easy to dig when you get past the roots, but no evidence of Native American or Wali ruins down there at all. made it. Triumphant. Hey, Buster.
I hope you don't film him getting pulled underwater by alligators.
Oh, this could be a live feed. This could be a good one.
in many senses.
We got it. Wait, I don't want to pull away from you for a long time because I might miss the moment you're snatched.
Then if you keep filming, you'll see me jump in after him.
Okay. Look at this. There's a word for that green algae that's growing on the surface. That is picturesque.
Yeah, it's a big gator pops out.
Yeah, because that's good cover for an alligator right there, isn't it? Look at that, friends. Is that not beautiful? Look at that. Natural beauty down here in Liberty County, Georgia. Hey, Buster, you want to be in this? Look. Look here. Oh, wow. Okay, we are here at Jekyll Island. We got Buster. We got the beach. We got me. For your viewing pleasure, gentlemen. No, ladies. Forget the gentleman part. Strike that. Progressive. Here's Buster. Buster, let's walk and see if we can get, come here, some footage here along this area. Here we go. Okay, come up here. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, let's go here. Oh, sorry, Buster, you're cut out of footage right now because we got the dunes and this is more striking than you are. I'm a dog fan. I like dogs. I like dogs. Don't get me wrong, but the beauty of the dunes surpasses the beauty of Buster. For all you dog fans out there, don't judge. Okay, we're just going to do a little Buster cam here for a bit. Buster's got to smell his way into this area. Okay, now Jekyll Island is located below Savannah, above Jacksonville. We used to come here a lot as kids. This was our spot. Dad would bring us out here every summer. And Jekyll's changed a lot since then. Jekyll now requires you donate $10 to get on their island. Let's see what they give us for $10. Uh-oh. Buster sees other dogs. I see another dog, Buster. You know, you can't go there. You have to go here. Okay. Look at this, guys. Okay. We'll come back. So here we are, guys. Jekyll Island. There's not a lot of folks walking on this island. That's okay. We like it better this way. Here's a funny story about Jekyll. I don't think I've been down here for over almost 25 years. Probably not since I started my career, and now my career's finished and I retired last week. But Jekyll was a place we came as kids a lot, and some really good memories here. But it's funny how time changes everything. When we came here as kids, Jekyll was a playground for us in the 70s. It was, you know, being raised in our little town, coming to a beach was a big event for us. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. So then you return here 25 years later, 40 years later from being a kid, 45 years later, even 50 years later. I'm 57 now. I'm sure I was here at age 7. You ponder the changes over time and how we're here just a short amount of time. We're just visiting, folks. This is just a visit. I'll get on my ramblings talking about the beauty of our existence, but just living in the moment, appreciating what we have now for what it is, not wanting it to be something it's not. There's a lot of beauty in that. And if we can all just step back and appreciate what we have, no matter what it is, our life, our presence here on earth. There's so much importance to that. Look at that, Buster. What is that? Is it alive? Is it alive?
You touch it.
Oh no, I think.
Doesn't mean that you couldn't still sting you.
Yeah. It's what got Steve Irwin.
I know.
A big stingray, right? That little that barb went right through his heart. Rest in peace, Mr. Stingray.
Is it really any wonder that he was killed by a wild animal?
Yeah, the irony of that, right?
Life's work.
Yeah.
I guess you would have thought it would be a crocodile.
Okay, guys, this is a place called Driftwood Beach on Jekyll Island, Georgia. Look at this. It's almost eerie in a way. Okay guys, this is the Horton house. In 1735, William Horton was granted Jekyll Island by the trustees of the colony of Georgia following a Spanish attack that destroyed his first house on the island. Horton rebuilt the home that still stands today with the help of indentured servants in 1743. Horton distinguished himself through his leadership in the fledgling colony. As one of General Oglethorpe's top military aides, Horton was in charge of troops garrisoned at Fort Frederica on nearby St. Simon's Island. Horton found the land exceedingly rich on his Jekyll property and grew a variety of crops to supply the nearby Frederica settlement. Horton also brewed Georgia's first beer at his plantation on Jekyll Island. The site also includes the cemetery of the Dubignon family, which owned Jekyll from 1790 to 1886 and occupied the house as their home from 1790 until sometime in the mid-1800s. The Horton House is one of the oldest tabby buildings in Georgia. It's listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Let's investigate further inside. So this would be the tabby. Think of this, guys. There would be Major Horton with his family living in here. The fireplace. Maybe the family stove here. Welcome in, folks.
So this was two-story, it said.
We have stew cooked for dinner. Come on in. Yeah, this was definitely a two-story.
That had to be where
That had to be the fireplace. Yeah. Here we've got 4 rednecks on a crane disturbing my video of the Jekyll Island Club Resort. Sorry, audience. We've got a little bit of a disturbance for the movie set here, but all good. We'll just wish that out from our memory. How's that? We would kind of crop it out here. This is a 1940 Buick Special, the Falcon. The Buick Special 8 has a straight 8-cylinder engine, which Buick produced from 1931 to 52, and a classic 3-on-the-3 manual transmission. Its gorgeous torpedo body was sculpted to be aerodynamic and became the model for the Cadillac LaSalle. We may have lost my sister somewhere along here. I'm not sure. Apparently we have some vintage sport here. Maybe some of our viewers can identify this. Okay guys, here's a little bit about the clubhouse. Charles Alexander designed the clubhouse, emphasized the rustic simplicity that the Jekyll Island Club embraced. It was completed for what was considered the modest price of $45,000. At the heart of any luxury resort or vacation retreat is sumptuous lodging. When the club incorporated in 1885, they knew the success of the club depended on a splendid but simply elegant clubhouse. The Jekyll Island Clubhouse was the final project for Chicago architect Charles Alexander. It was declared a model of comfort and elegance. 1889, New York Times reported, all have expressed themselves delighted with the island and clubhouse, and well they may, for it has not its equal north or south.
Look as majestic as it did at night.
Look at this skilled pottery making, guys. These are sturdy pots. Using timber to make the bowls, jars, and plates even stronger. This Earth Lodge is particularly incredible. A mock-up of the meetings they had 1,000 years ago. This was the green corn ceremony held during the corn harvest in late summer, an annual ritual among late Mississippians. Celebrate the harvest, perform ritual dances, participate in the light of the new fire for the new year. Of course, the British, Spanish, and French settlers tried to influence the Indians around them. Battles ensued. Railroad came through here in 1843. The Central Railroad built a train track through the Lesser Temple Mound, operated a locomotive roundhouse beside the funeral mound. Second cut in 1874 destroyed much of the funeral mound.
East and south of the village. At one time, trenches may have encircled the settlement, but were they dug for defensive purposes? We can't be sure. With a population of 2,000 or more,
Okay, we are walking now towards the, how do we call this? The lodge, the den. This was reconstructed in the 30s. So we're coming up on 100 years now that this tribal ceremony location was reconstructed. Good overcast day. This is good. We passed the school group behind us. This is also good. Just imagine as we walk this used to be a farmland, so a lot of stuff was tilled up, mishandled. But I understand the majority of the archaeological digs was in the 30s. So then the National Park Service eventually took over this to preserve it for all of us. This is coming up on the area here. Here we are, straight up on the entrance, which was again reconstructed. And now we're going to go in here.
Oh, my nigga got a fucking bazooka, nigga. So I got RPG that you faster, nigga. I got RPG.
Okay. Apologies for the distracting noise upon entrance. Duck down, guys. Oh, really duck down. Look at this. This is the original floor. By the way, I was told this was the original floor for the earthen lodge. Ceremonial fire there. Imagine that being the original floor from several thousand years ago. How this was painstakingly renovated, reclaimed, carefully preserved, so we can all enjoy it now. You really have to duck down coming out of here. You really do. So in 1843, the Central Railroad and Canal Company constructed an initial main line between Macon and Savannah, 160 miles, and the railroad path came right through the Mississippian mounds and destroyed portions of the lesser Temple Mound. As the railroad company cut through the artifacts and prehistoric burials, they were exposed. This park road leading to the funeral mound follows the old railroad cut. This is 1,000 years ago. You look out on the mounds, the railroad cuts are clearly visible. You would have seen a large field 1,000 years ago. Here's 1843. It said the large field may have been where the ball court was located and used for playing games, stickball and chunky. And this is after the railroad cut. Look at that, guys. Railroad company only left the southern portion adjacent to the railroad undisturbed from the construction of the new rail line. It says the railroad workmen unearthed skeletons, shells, spear points, clay pipes, and earthen pots. And the rail line still in operation today. Here we are, guys, on the bridge used to cross over the railroad cut span. When the railroad came through here, cut right through the Indian mound, which is over that away, I believe. And they say this railroad's still operational today. Just imagine what they discovered. Probably had no regard for the historical significance of the artifacts they encountered. They just had a job to do and were doing their job to earn their paycheck. But you walk through here and you have to wonder. You have to put yourself back in time 1,000 years and realize our short span here on this planet, and how 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, maybe more years ago, these people, this was their land, and this was what they were caretakers of, and now we're able to visit it in this relative comfort of sidewalks. And Muskogee Creek, 1600 to 1826. Late 1600s, the English traders moved into this area and established a trading post near a creek village on the Okmulgee River. The English called the Okmulgee River Ochisi Creek. Over time, the name was shortened to Creek Indians. Look how beautifully manicured this area is. It's all sodded, maintained. Wow, we're headed that way, guys. Straight to the larger mounds. I assume that's the lesser mound to the right and the greater mound to the left. I can do that math. The Creek Trading Pass, the trading post site in Civil War. Almost 100 years before the American Revolution was fought, the Creeks traded with the British at Okmulgee. In 1690, an English trader from Charleston built a trading store adjacent to the traditional Creek trading path that went from Augusta to the lower Creek towns along the Chattahoochee River. The Creeks traded for European goods such as guns, iron pots, knives, and cotton cloth in exchange for fur and skins. The Creeks moved back to the Chattahoochee River and abandoned the village after the Yamasee War erupted in 1715 in protest against the British corruption related to fur trade policies. I hear the train coming. Great Temple Mound. Okay guys, we're now on the headed towards the river. You know, all Indian settlements were near sources of water. So as we progress down this trail towards the Okmulgee River, one has to wonder how many steps predated our steps today to this beautiful, beautiful area. Look at this, guys. Doesn't really look like a river. It looks more like a still body of water, doesn't it? Maybe the river's on the other side. Even so, it's gorgeous. It's really nice that it's overcast today, and even though it's almost the middle of November, it can still get pretty warm here in this part of Georgia. We're just coming back from Savannah area, and it was in the low to mid 80s there. So let's get back just a bit to talking about our temporal visits here on Earth and how we're all really here for a short period of time. So I think it's important to visit sites like this so we can get a sense of our place here on Earth. and the importance of recognizing the value of our time here. You know, we go through our lives in such rush, must get there. We're never really truly living in the moment. And that's one of the purposes of this stop and other stops, to pause and reflect and give appreciation for our life, and being able to recognize what a true gift life is. To be able to be here right now. Okay, we're coming up on the Greater Mound. You can see it here. You have to think about, these mounds were constructed without the use of modern equipment, so everything was done by hand, dug by hand, hauled up here by hand. Was it tens of years? Was it several years? Was it hundreds of years that it took to create these structures? So river trail 1 mile. Keep in mind, alligators are common in this area. I think it would be nice to see an alligator along our walk. Would it not? This is a long boardwalk, so this took a lot of time and effort to construct as well. Okay, so that gives us an indication that that was just a shoot off from the river. Maybe standing water. We shall investigate and look for more as we progress down this long river trail, which is supposedly 1 mile in length. So maybe we should up our pace just a little bit so we can get down here quicker fashion to see how the river looks today. This is coming right along. Hey, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, thank you. Lamar culture, 1350 to 1600. By 1200, the great farming communities and expanded chiefdoms began to decline, and the old Okmulgee fields were largely abandoned. Around 1350, small, newer towns began to develop and grow. 2 miles downriver, the Lamar site appeared. The Okmulgee River is a major tributary of the Altamaha River system. In 1829, the first steamboat, known as the North Carolina, came up the Okmulgee River. There's in Hawkinsville, Georgia, 1910. Let's venture downward. Wow, this is all flood zone here, guys. But this is it. This is the Okmulgee River. Look at this. See that? What is that, a heron? Sandy beaches. It's a shame this trash is here, but I guess it comes in when the river floods and it gets washed up on shore. So there's that creek we were following where it comes into the river, deposits all this sand and sediment. Imagine the wildlife that uses water for their drinking. Okay, now we're approaching the Great Mound, or the Greater Mound. There's a lesser mound as well. The Great Temple Mound and town site. It says relatively little is known about these mounds except they were topped by rectangular wooden structures probably used for religious and ceremonial purposes. A steep rampway descended from the summit of the mound to the plaza level below. The recovered artifacts further suggest the elite class of priests and or chieftains who are honored after their death. 900 to 1600. Again, guys, this gives us a glimpse into our past, and not only do we look at the past, but we need to look at the past as a placeholder for our time here now. Several thousand years ago, these mounds were built here. Even several thousand years is a blink in time, and we're fortunate to have 85 years in this very brief glimpse in time. So you need to ponder that as you look upon this. Look at the beauty of this area.
Ooh.